Let's talk about a feeling. You know the one. That nagging sense that your money just doesn't stretch as far as it used to. That you're running faster and faster, but somehow you're just staying in the same place. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is not in your head. Today, we're going to break down why the very floor beneath your finances feels like it's constantly shifting.
So picture this. You're standing at the grocery store checkout. You've done this a million times, right? The cashier scans that last item and reads out your total, $318, and you just kind of look down at your cart. It's the same stuff, the same chicken, the same bread, the same things you buy every single week. You haven't added anything fancy, nothing in your life got more expensive on purpose. But you do that quick math in your head, and this exact cart, it used to be $210. So what on earth happened?
That feeling, that sense that someone quietly moved the floor 3 inches to the left and just didn't tell you? Yeah, you are not imagining it. The fundamental math of your life has actually truly changed.
And that's really the heart of what we're digging into today. This huge, massive gap between the official story you hear about the economy and the reality you feel in your wallet every single day.
I mean, it's like a tale of two different economies. On one side, you've got the official story, right? Unemployment is low, the GDP is growing, wages are technically going up. But then there's your felt reality. Groceries are up 25% since 2020. Your car insurance? That shot up 50% in just 4 years, and hospital services jumped 6.7% last year alone. See? Two completely different stories. So, what happens when you try to connect those two stories? Well, after you account for all that inflation, the typical household's real spending power has gone up by a grand total of, wait for it, $470 since 2019. That works out to just $94 a year. That's not a raise, people. That's one tank of gas. For the whole year.
But look, this isn't just about abstract numbers on some chart. To really get a handle on the impact of all this, let's put a human face on the data. Let's see how this moving floor actually affects real people. So let's meet a few people. Here's Elijah, a marketer. His 4% raise felt more like a pay cut with extra steps because, well, only 57% of workers actually saw their pay beat inflation. Then there's Isabella, a nurse, who has to put essentials like car repairs on a high-interest credit card. She's paying over $1,700 a year in interest that buys her absolutely nothing. Or Luna, her tech job was automated by AI, and now her new role pays 18 grand less. And finally, Kayaks. He's 58, has $185,000 saved, and he's just staring at this massive, terrifying gap between him and retirement. See, 4 totally different lives, all fighting the exact same invisible current. Okay, so what is causing all this pressure? The truth is, it's not just one thing. It's really a series of invisible forces that act like these hidden taxes on your life. They're taking a cut before you even get a chance to spend your money. First up on our list, tariffs. Now, there's this idea that foreign countries pay for them, but a New York Fed analysis confirmed what we all feel. We do. Americans shouldered 94% of the cost, with average rates hitting their highest level since 1909. 1909, this added about $7,600 to a new car sticker price and helped push food prices up 4.5% all by itself. It's a tax that's passed directly to you at the checkout.
And this brings us to a really important economic idea, the stickiness factor. When a company's costs go up, prices shoot up right alongside them. But what happens when those costs go back down? Yeah, prices are slow as molasses on the way down. Retailers almost never unsticker a higher price once they've seen that we're willing to pay it.
And then, oh boy, then you have the sneakiest hidden tax of all, shrinkflation. This is when companies don't raise the price, they just give you less product. It actually accounted for up to 10% of all grocery inflation over the last few years. You know you've seen this. Your 32-ounce Gatorade is suddenly 28 ounces. That bottle of orange juice, it quietly went from 52 ounces down to 46. But my favorite example, and this one is just absurd, is a major ice cream brand. They reduced the milk fat so much to save money that it legally can't be called ice cream anymore. It's now frozen dairy dessert, and the price, it still went up.
So, what happens when your paycheck just doesn't cover all these rising costs and shrinking products? Well, for millions of us, the answer is debt. And listen, this isn't some moral failing. It's a survival tool to bridge that gap. But the problem is, it becomes this treadmill that is incredibly hard to get off of. Just think about this number.
In 2024 alone, Americans paid a staggering $160 billion in credit card interest. That's not paying for stuff, that's just a fee. It works out to about $480 for every single citizen, just for the privilege of carrying debt to make ends meet. It's wild. And look at how this trap works. Let's say you have the median credit card balance, about $6,600. If you only make the minimum payments each month, it will take you 18 years to pay it off. 18 years! And here's the truly crushing part. You'll pay over $9,200 just in interest. That is way more than you originally borrowed. It's a trap designed specifically to keep you on that treadmill.
And this pressure just keeps compounding. Nearly 30% of people buying a new car are rolling negative equity into their next loan. They're starting out, on average, $6,000 underwater from day one. And now, with student loan payments back in the picture, 7 million borrowers are already in default. It all just piles on.
Okay, so that is the problem. And I know, it's heavy stuff. It's a lot. But understanding the mechanics, seeing how the machine works, that is the very first step to taking back control. So let's talk about the solution. And it's not about some fantasy of suddenly making way more money. It's about making the money you do have work a whole lot smarter.
Here are 4 small, honestly pretty boring adjustments that can have a huge financial impact. Number 1, move your emergency savings into a high-yield savings account. On a $15,000 balance, that could be an extra $660 a year. 2, audit your 401k fees. A tiny 1% difference can cost you over $64,000 in retirement. 3, if you can, use a health savings account. It's got this amazing triple tax advantage. And 4, get aggressive with high-interest debt. Paying off a credit card with a 22% interest rate is like getting a guaranteed 22% return on your money. You can't beat that in any investment.
You know, when it comes down to it, this is a choice. 5 years from now, you're going to be one of 2 people. Version A, they just stayed the course, ignored this small stuff, and they're probably still just treading water. But version B, they made these boring little adjustments. And because of those choices, version B has $28,000 more in savings and $31,000 more for retirement. The difference isn't their salary. The difference is that they understood the math and they acted on it.
Look, the economic floor has absolutely moved under our feet. Things are just different now. But understanding how it moved and why, well, that gives you the power to decide your next move. The floor has moved. Now it's your move.